So as in the last video we have discussed about the third A group elements, and today we are going to discuss about the fourth A group elements. Alright, if I do talk about according to the periodic table what group is this, so it is 14th group. Alright, but here we are just initially going to discuss about the A group first, so this is fourth A group. Alright, so now we should talk about the elements, what elements are involved in the fourth A group. Alright, so here let me write it down. This is what this is, fourth A group elements. Group elements. So first of all we should look on the periods, how many periods we do have in the fourth A group. So let me count it down. So how many groups we do have? We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many periods we do have? So we do have 6 periods. Alright. So let me write here. I'm not going to write it down. Alright. So what elements we do have in this group? The first element is carbon. Then we do have silicon. Wait, let me use the bright color. This is fine. So carbon we do have, silicon we do have, germanium we do have, then we do have tin, lead, and then we do have flerovium. Alright, so these 6 elements are there in the fourth A group. So let me write here down. So the first element I have is carbon. Alright, second element I do have is silicon. Third element I do have in the fourth A group is germanium, then tin. So let me write here down. Germanium. Then I have tin. Then I have lead. Then I have flerovium. So now let's talk about their symbols, like how they are represented. Alright, first of all we are going with the periodic table, how they are represented. Alright, so carbon is represented with symbol C, capital C. Silicon is represented with symbol capital S and small I. Then germanium is represented with capital G and small e. Tin is represented with capital S and small n. Lead is represented with capital P and small b. And flerovium is represented with capital F and small l. So let me write here down their symbols. So I'm going to write these with this color. Alright, so carbon is represented with C. Silicon is represented with capital S and small I. Germanium is represented with capital G and small e. Then we do have tin, which is represented with capital S and small n. Then lead is represented with capital B and small b. Capital P and small b. Then flerovium is represented with capital F and small l. So these are the symbols of these elements. Alright, so now we should look on their atomic numbers as well. What are their atomic numbers actually? So let's see here. So carbon has atomic number of 6, as you can see here, and silicon has atomic number of 14, germanium has 32, tin has 50, and lead has 82, and flerovium has 114. So let me write here down the atomic numbers. Alright, so let me make the arrows first. Arrows, so that I can write the atomic numbers. Alright, so carbon has atomic number of 6. So let me write here. Carbon has 6. Silicon has atomic number of 14. Alright. Germanium has atomic number of 32. Then we do have tin, and tin has atomic number of 50. Then we do have lead. Lead has atomic number of 82. Last but not the least, we do have flareonium, and flareonium has atomic number of 114. Alright, so it has atomic number of 140. Now let's talk about the electrons which would be present in their valence shell. So let's see the structure of the carbon first. Alright, so let me write here down. Here I am writing structure of elements. So we'll be going with 3 elements, alright, so that it can be clear to us how to make this structure. Elements. So first of all, we are going with the element which is carbon, because carbon has an atomic number of 6, so we can like look on it. So we know that, wait, let me write here. Alright, this color is fine. So if I am making here carbon, so let me make here with this color is fine. So this is the nucleus I have. Alright, nucleus. And here I have first shell, and here I have second shell. Alright, so why first of all it has second shells means it has 2 shells, because it belongs to the second period. As you can see here, first period is in which only hydrogen and helium are there. Then in the second period carbon is present. So that's why, as I told you before as well, the shells represents what? The periods represents shell. So the period in which the element would be, it would have that much shells in the period which it would be in that. Alright, so now it has 2 shells. As I told you, it is in the second period. So how many electrons we'll do have in the first shell? We'll do have 2 electrons. So first in this and second. Alright, so 2 are in the first shell. Now how many electrons are left? Alright, so 6 is the atomic number of carbon. 6 minus 2 is 4. So means 4 would be there in the outermost shell. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Alright, so 4 are there in the outermost shell, and this outermost shell is known as what? Valence shell. Valence shell. And the electrons which would be in the valence shell would be known as valence electrons. So how many electrons we do have in the carbon? We do have 4 electrons, 4 valence electrons. So it means it need 4 more to complete its outermost shell. So it will not, of course, gonna gain 4 more electrons, but it will make covalent bond with hydrogen so that it can be made stable. Alright, so this is how the structure of carbon is made. So secondly, we are going with the structure of silicon now, and silicon has atomic number of 14. Alright, so here I should tell you one more thing as well, the lone pair and the bond pair. Now let's see how many lone pair or bond pair it has. So let me tell you, it has no any lone pair. So carbon has not any lone pair. Carbon has no lone pair. it has no lone pair, while it has bond pair. Now let's see how much bond pair it has. All right, so like this electron is what, it needs one more. All right, it needs one more, it needs one more, and it needs one more as well. It means it needs 4 electrons to complete the outermost shell. So it means it has 4 bond pairs. It needs 4 more electrons. So it has 4 bond pairs. It has what? It has 4 bond pairs, and it has no any lone pair. So carbon is an element which has no any lone pair, and it has 4 bond pairs. Alright, so now we are going with the structure of silicon so that it can be more clear to us. So let me write here down the silicon element, silicon, and silicon has atomic number of 14. So let me make here the structure of silicon. This is the nucleus, this is the first shell, this is the second shell. All right, so now let's see how many lone pair or bond pair it has. So this is the nucleus, first shell has 2 electrons, so 14 minus 2 is 12. So in second shell we do have 8 electrons. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Alright, so 8 electrons I have made here. So now let's see how many electrons are left here more. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and 10 plus now we do have 14 minus 10 is 4. So 4 electrons are left. So 4 will be in the outermost shell. So 4 are there in the outermost shell now. 1 2 3 4. So it's mean it needs 4 electrons to complete its outermost shell as well. So it has 4 bond pairs. Alright, 1 2 3 and 4. It has what? It has 4 bond pairs. So this was all for today. In the next video we'll be going with the 5th group elements.